Hi, I'm John Allen, President and CEO of Product Safety Consulting. We help CEOs sleep at night. Following our Safety Beyond Standards process, we help you do product safety right. Your reputation is everything. We know that. And so does Coca-Cola. And I love this quote. If I lost all of my factories and trucks but kept the name Coca-Cola, I could rebuild my business. If I lost my name, the business would collapse. And your safety record is inexorably linked to your reputation with key stakeholders. Financial community, are you a good investment? Are you putting quality products on the market? Does it comply? Brand marketing, is your approach to safety enhancing or detracting from your reputation? Are you a good partner? Is this a good place to work? Some examples of damages over the years, you've heard them: executive behavior, WorldCom and Tyco, Exxon with the environment, Boeing, all kinds of safety issues for a long time, hopefully coming back soon. Arthur Andersen Services, employee relations, financial with the Enron woes. What is your culture? Your reputation is tied to it. Here's Unilever's. Our people must understand that, even in the most remote corner of the world, even a small incident can have massive repercussions. So if you think you are unimportant when it comes to Unilever's reputation, you are not. Everyone is important. I ask you, Mr. CEO, what is your culture? So why not just do the minimum? 90% of the products that get recalled are certified by somebody to the minimum standards. If you want to put a safe product on the market, got to go above and beyond the minimum. And what are the causes of those recalls and problems out in the field? 9 out of 10, product development didn't catch it. You got to start with safety as early in the product development process as possible. So risk equals hazard times exposure. You want exposure as high as possible, of course. So we have to drive hazard down to as close to zero as possible. Zero is unrealistic. And as I stated before, the sooner you start with safety in the development process, the better you're going to be. As you progress along that development process, you're spending more time and more money and more emotion. If you get the bugs worked out from concept, you're going to get to market faster and less expensive. So this chart requires some explanation. This is a risk tolerance and a risk assessment matrix. It compares the severity of consequence to the probability of the mishap. I show this in this presentation because we cannot do a risk assessment without understanding what your risk tolerance is. And I am talking to the CEOs in corporate C-suite America. We need to know your tolerance of risk before we can tell you what the risk is. You cannot drive risk to zero, remember. We talked about that. It's a tough pill to swallow. If you look at the matrix, catastrophic and impossible is green, meaning no design change has to happen. Catastrophic can be a fire or even death. But if it's impossible to happen, it's an acceptable risk to some companies and many companies. So you're not alone, but it is a tough pill to swallow, and you have to work through that in order for your team to be able to conduct a true risk assessment. We like to think of product safety as a holistic approach. Regulatory compliance and global marketplace is the minimum. It's a very important step to get you into market, but it is the minimum. Understand the local laws and customs. Testing beyond the required and voluntary standards. Use incident information. There's databases available from products that caused failures in the hospitals, how they got injured. It's free. Why duplicate a design that's been recalled. You can learn from others' mistakes. In the HERA and risk assessment, get marketing involved. We'd love to get legal and marketing involved. They're hard to tap down, but they bring a lot of value to end use and what the consumer thinks and wants about the product. Understand the local legal environments and choose your global partners wisely. So, what approaches do you use to manage risk? Comply with the mandatory legal requirements, of course. Look at the voluntary standards. Look at the quality standards. There's a bunch of them out there. And develop your own internal safety testing guidelines, design guides, and your own way of doing safety beyond standards. You know the process of product development. What I'm trying to get here on this slide is where we can insert product safety stage gates, if you will, in your product development process. We do design feasibility reviews from concept. Risk assessments can be done from concept drawings. We can lay out the testing. We can do failure analysis, specific research, even how you might want to produce a thing, all before you cut steel on a prototype. And then get to the prototype, we do prototype testing, verification, and keep moving through the process. Manufacturing phase, test to failure. Do you have the critical point verifications that you looked for in the design phase? And then, of course, strategically, you need to look at a variety of things. If something does happen in the field, and it's eventually going to, especially if you're successful, do you have a committee, or are you going to scramble to figure out what to do? What's in your safety manual? Develop it for your designers coming up, can do it the right way all the time. So, how can we help you? Talk to us about your pain, we'll help you solve it. Talk to us about your plans, we'll give you a roadmap for how to get there. Integrate us into your product development process, and we'll help you design your products with the surprises out of the design so you don't fail first time through. Let us manage your certifications. We'll take the headache away, we'll keep it organized, and we'll set up cost-effective programs and systems. And when you're ready, if you're ready, we'll hand it over to you so you guys could do it. It's not rocket science, but it's not simple either. It takes an effort. Thank you for listening. I hope it was helpful. We've been doing this a long time and bring a lot of value to companies' product development processes. And we help companies get products to market just as quickly and inexpensively and safe as possible. We'd love to hear about your company and your needs. Give us a call. We still answer the phone at Product Safety Consulting.